All right. And I am live. Good morning, everybody. This is Faith in the morning on my morning ride. How's everybody doing today? It is Thursday, October 15th, and it is 4 a.m. in Phoenix. How's everybody doing? All right. Today's topic is going to be who is really holding us back? And I think that, we discuss this topic on a regular, but, I do believe that this is one of those important topics that do need to be revisited from time to time because we have a lot of people in our community that love to make excuses as to why they're in the situation that they're in. Nobody ever wants to take responsibility. Everybody has an excuse. So the question today is, whose fault is it? Who is really holding you back? And is it fair to blame others for things that you yourself have total control over? So we're going to get deep into this discussion today, and we're going to also throw a little politics into the mix, okay? Because I do also want to touch upon that platinum plan, and I'll tell you guys how I'm going to implement all of that into this conversation. But here's the thing. I'm going to give you a little illustration of what I'm talking about here real quick. Just here recently, I found out that a certain YouTuber who everybody thought was dead, everybody thought that this person had committed suicide. And just maybe a week or maybe two ago, I'm pretty late with the information. But this person went onto her channel and she did a long live stream justifying, why she told people that she didn't say that she told anybody. She pretty much said that she did not debunk the rumor that she was dead. She did not bother to debunk it. She knew that, she did not commit suicide, but she did not bother to come back and debunk it. She made excuse and said that, okay, well, I just needed a break. I was being bullied, blah, blah, blah. But here's my thing. Here's the thing that I really want to delve into with that situation. That's just an example. I won't name any names. But this person had their administrator on their channel, you know, orchestrating from her channel while she's supposed to be deceased a fundraiser for her son's birthday. Okay, it wasn't a fundraiser for her funeral. They claimed that, they didn't need the money for the funeral. Okay, so she comes back and she makes all this excuse as to why she did not debunk the rumor of her committing suicide, but not one mention as to what exactly did you do with all that donation money that people donated because they thought that you were gone. And so here you're sitting up here with all these excuses, talking about you were bullied, talking about all these big bad people on YouTube, did all this, that, and the other to you. Good morning, Veritiki. Good morning. You made all these excuses. But here's the thing. If you knew that this was a rumor, if you knew that these people was on your YouTube channel, using your channel, because this was her channel. I've been subscribed to this lady for years. Okay, you knew these people were doing this on your behalf, so they say, from your social media platform, and you didn't say anything, you didn't step in, you didn't stop it, you just allowed it. Come on, come on now. Nobody was born yesterday. If they did that from your social media platform, how did they get access? How did they get access? But you want to say that you left because you were being bullied. You want to say all these big bad people were treating you so terrible. You want to say, hey, you know what? It's everybody else's fault why I made this decision to perpetrate this fraud. Because that's what it was. Even if it started out as a rumor, the mere fact that you did nothing to debunk it, and then after that, through your help, because it had to be through you, these people were able to access your account and get donations off of this fraud. And now you want to come back and make an excuse as to why you did it. See, here in this particular situation, I can't feel sorry for you. I got no tears for you, none whatsoever. Yeah, Baratiki, that's who it is. I'm not gonna, say any other YouTubers' names. And please refrain from using these people's names in the comments. Good morning, Mia D. Good morning. But yeah, that's who it is. So, didn't nobody hold you back? I get bullied on here all the time. As a matter of fact, there was a certain YouTuber that followed me onto an all woman's platform just so he can, say some derogatory, disparaging shit because he wanted to throw a tantrum because people were talking about some shit that he himself put out about himself. That's pretty much public knowledge. Yeah, it happens to all of us. But when you don't take responsibility for sharing your information, and she shared a lot of information about herself on her platform. And if you're not willing to take the backlash and take full responsibility for doing that, then don't do it. See, there's certain things about my life. I share certain things about my life, but I'm not going to share everything if that makes any sense. Because even though you all are my viewers, you don't deserve to know every little nuance of my life. But she shared every little nuance of her life, right down to her homelessness. And whatever you put out there, people are going to talk about. They're going to clown you for it. Get ready. And if you don't have a thick skin, if you don't have a tough skin for it, don't share it. There are certain things that I regret sharing with the general public because the general public, they're not going to treat you with kid gloves. They're not going to be sympathetic towards your cause. So if you share certain things thinking that the majority of the outpouring you're going to get is sympathy, think again. Now, there may be some people that sympathize with you and give you donations. Like, I really feel that's what she was doing a lot of times in her videos. But you also have to be ready to take responsibility when that blows up in your face. And when it did blow up in her face, she retreated and people thought that she had killed herself. Then she allowed people to go onto her social media platform and beg for donations. And now you don't want to take responsibility for any of it. Nobody did anything to you. These are all decisions that you made. These were all decisions that you had total control of. You had total control over what you shared with people, and you had total control over your reaction to how the people took what you shared with them. You have total control. Nobody else. Nobody held you back. Nobody made you do anything. And it's the same thing with that dude that chased me down over there on that all woman's channel. He shared some information about himself, which left it open to public scrutiny. Now you're mad because people talking about what you shared. Now you're chasing people down on platforms to cuss them out. That's on you. You gotta hold that L. If you don't want people talking about it, don't share it. Veritiki says, yes, Faith, please don't let people know that I have a crush on you. Oh, thank you, Veritiki. But that's just the honest truth, though. I have to, put the onus back on the person. We run around here and we want to blame others for the situations that we find ourselves in that we had total control over in the first place. Now, I want to fast forward this to the Black community and things that I see in the community. Now, I was having a conversation with some close friends that I know. And I don't want to spill all their business out because they watch my YouTube and my Facebook channel. So to protect the innocent, I'm not going to use anybody's names, but I will use their scenario because I think it is very pertinent to what I'm talking about today as far as who's holding you back. Now, this girlfriend, she's a grandmother and she's very sick. And so she lives with her grandchildren who help take care of her. And they all, pay bills together, et cetera, et cetera. Well, there's the grandson living in the house, and he has a little, medial job. He works at you know, the package company that does package deliveries. And he hadn't been to work in 5 days. 5. So this lady was telling me that every day he's sitting in the house. He get up early in the morning, go out on their balcony, and he's smoking his weed. Then some chick will come over, give him some hoo-ha, and then later on in the day, after her granddaughter cooks, he's eating and having his meal. So his job is calling him, telling him that if he doesn't come to work, they're going to have to terminate him. So they all pay rent together and they all depend on each other's income, but he doesn't seem to be confirmed about his portion of the rent. Now here's the thing, and this is what I talk about as far as enabling some of these males in the Black community. Now, this is not all Black men are not like this. I don't want to put him up and prop this up as him being the poster child for all. But we got quite a few males that fit this bill. They're entitled. They live with these women. In his case, he's living with his grandmother and his sister. The grandmother and the sister have income coming into the home, and he is falling back on them because he's lazy. Now, just think about the situation for a minute. What incentive does he have to get up and grind? Grandmother and sister paying majority of the bills. Grandmother and sister buying majority of the food. Grandmother and sister cooking. He's eating. He has some retarded female coming, bringing him some woo-ha, and he got his weed. Now, this will be the Negro, because most certainly if he continues down this path of not going to work, calling in every day, his job telling him that they're going to have to terminate him if he doesn't show up for work. When they terminate him and he no longer has money for his weed habit or to give to this girl traveling to give him some woo-ha, he can't help pay any bills. He's going to fall back on these women in his life to take care of him. Where's his incentive to do anything more for himself if everybody is taken care of? But this will be the hip when that job does call him, and they inevitably will call him and tell him he's fired. This will be the same Negro talking about how the white man holding him back. This will be the same person complaining that he doesn't have any opportunities. This will be the same person that will sit up and look crazy when people don't want him in the house anymore because he's not contributing. Then he'll be complaining about how the bad black women put him out on the street. Nobody loves black men. Nobody supports black men. This will be the same person with all these excuses. But he's not going to look at the fact that he did a lot of stuff that he had total control over to put him in that situation. So now my friend was telling me that, she doesn't know what they're going to do because she's quite tired of him laying around the house. All he want to do is smoke his weed, play his video games, have that girl over, having sex. And they're talking about putting him out, and rightfully so. But see, this is the portion of the story that a lot of brothers don't like to tell on themselves when they're over here complaining that nobody wants to help them. This is the part of the story that they leave out. They leave out what they did to get to the portion where people are putting them out on the street. Please don't ask me who this is, because once again, I'm not putting people's personal business out there. These people watch my channel, but they know who they are. I'm using this as an example because this is real life. These are people in real life. Similarly, another situation, real life, real people. I know a guy that lives in Chicago. He's a grandfather. And once again, these people, they get old and they weigh heavily on their grandparents or their parents for their survival. Now, granted, the boy lost his mother, but he was 18 when he lost her. Now he's in his 20s, his mid 20s. He's relying heavily on his grandfather to support him. Now, while he's living in his grandfather's house, he's going out and he's doing things like doing home invasions. He's doing home invasions. His grandfather helped him get a job where he could make decent money. But instead of going to the job where he can make this decent money, he decided, no, I don't want to work. I want to do home invasions. So he gets caught doing the home invasion. That's okay, Judge Dre. No, I'm just saying that, I'm just making sure that everybody understands. I'm not going to, give out people's actual names. He gets in trouble doing the home invasions. And so now he's in jail. His grandfather has to come up with bail money to get him out. His grandfather bails him out of jail. His grandfather gives him the lawyer. The lawyer gives him a lesser charge where he doesn't really have to do any time. And then he escapes, with a small charge on his record. But he ain't got to go to jail. This is how he rewards his grandfather for helping him. He goes and he robs his grandfather. He robs his grandfather and takes $500. What's up, Doug? And when the grandfather finds out about this, he confronts him. You know what he does? He jumps on his grandfather and beats his grandfather down. This is the same person that bailed you out of jail. This is the same person that paid for you a lawyer to get you out of this little scuffle that you got in. And this is the same person that you're living with and relying on for your livelihood. So now the grandfather puts him out. This is yet another black man out on the street. But now he's out on this street and he's telling everybody half truths about his situation. These will be the same black men, the first one and the second one that I just described to you, talking about how people holding him back, how the white man holding him back, how his family ain't ish, how nobody care about him. These will be the same ones spouting that bull, that BS. The same ones. Not looking at the actions that they took to bring them to this situation. And I got more scenarios here of people sitting up here talking about who holding them back. People sitting up here talking about who holding them back, but they not looking at the decisions they made to put them in the situation. Yes, Verity, he a despicable piece of trash. Then there's another situation where there's a young lady. She living at home with her parents, good girl, graduate from school, went straight to college. Her boyfriend, he's a bum, okay? He comes over to the house. The parents allow her to let her and her boyfriend visit up in the bedroom. You know what they're doing up in the bedroom? They're knocking the boots up in the bedroom. She get pregnant, but she in college, so she's working it through. But she's having all these babies by this bum. Baby number one comes, baby number two comes, baby number three comes. She muddles through and graduates, but he ain't got no job. He ain't going to school. He ain't trying to do nothing. All her baby by the same bum. Same bum. So now she goes and she gets the public assistance because, her and the bum, they can't, they can't make it on their own. They made these kids, they can't make it on their own. So they got to rely on government now, taxpayer money. Now she graduates, there's no jobs in her field. So she got to take whatever. It's still not enough. They still need government assistance to support their family. She marries the bomb. He's still not really, contributing to the household. Um, Stocking groceries at the grocery store, no ambition. So now she's in a situation where she finally looks up and some years have passed and she's wondering why she's not happy. She's wondering how did she end up here? So now we're having the conversation and she's telling me, you know what? I don't know how I ended up having these babies by this guy. I don't know how I used the birth control. The birth control didn't work for me. I had a bad reaction to it. All these excuses, right? All these excuses. Now, once again, just because we women, I'm not gonna sit here and give us a pass either. But she got all these excuses. Now we got 50 different forms of birth control. I said, okay, so two of the 50 didn't work out for you. So you just gave up? You didn't try the other 48? Or how about did you let him between your legs without that condom? Because you asked me how you got here. I'm gonna tell you how you got here. Ah, the pill was making me do this and do that, and I couldn't take it. The Lorena wasn't good. I said, okay, what about the other 48? And how about why'd you let him between your legs without the condom? So you got to take some responsibility for where you at right now. No, no, because I, I can't make him. I said no. I didn't say you make him wear a condom. I said, did you let him between your legs without a condom? Because you asked me how you got here, and if the answer is you let him between your legs without the condom, and you didn't try the other 48 methods of birth control, that's how you got here. See, sometimes we just don't want to take any accountability at all whatsoever. We got a million excuses and it makes it sound good. We got a million excuses for ourselves to make it sound good to other people. And I feel sorry for this young lady because her own mother opposed her and her making these excuses. Oh, she a good girl. She a real good girl. I let my daughter and her boyfriend visit each other in the bedroom, and they were over there getting busy every chance they got. And she didn't take any birth control, but she said it's because she had a bad reaction to it. This is her mother talking. Now her mother is upholding her in her excuses. And this is why a lot of the young women don't take accountability also. See, I'm trying to paint a picture for you guys as to why the community looks the way it looks now. Doug says too many people are allergic to self reflection and self accountability. Exactly. And then we have these people who are enablers. Like in that first example with this YouTuber basically faking her own death, and she had people who enabled her to do that by going onto her account and holding a fundraiser for her. Okay, they were enabling her in her wrongdoing. Let's just call it for what it is. And the second scenario that I gave you of the young man not going to work for 5 days and ultimately going to end up being fired for it, but he's still able to get food, shelter, and sex from the women in his life. Those people are enabling him. Same thing with the grandfather bailing his grandson out of jail. Same thing with the mother telling the daughter it's not her fault that she got all them kids by that bomb. Arab Black TV says that's the matriarchy at work. It's a combination of all of it. It's a combination. Because, like I said, that grandfather did his share of enabling too. That is what this culture has turned into. We have turned into a culture of people that enable our people in their wrongdoing. Are you talking about that YouTuber Veritiki says now she describes herself as a singer and songwriter on her new channel? Yeah, I saw that. Mia D says the second situation, the guy is going to be problematic for the sisters, for the sisters and the grandmother. Yeah. But see, when these people finally do get tired of these people and they dump them off to the side, these will be the same people coming to us and complaining that they were held back by some invisible system. Now, in all of these situations, guess who was not present in any of these situations? The white man. When you go back and re-listen to what I said, did anybody hear me say anything about a white man in any of these situations? Now we're living in this system, but there are certain decisions that we make within this system that harms our that we harm ourselves with. Excuse me. There are certain individual decisions that we all make within this system that we harm ourselves with. Now, if you know that you're already poor, why would you bring babies into a situation where you can't even take care of yourself? And if you know that the man doesn't have anything, why would you have babies for him? These are decisions that you can actually make for yourself and avoid a bad situation. But after these people make these bad situations for themselves, they don't, at the very least, you can't change the situation, but at the very least, you can acknowledge your part in creating it. But these people don't want to do that at all. And that is the reason why these so-called generational curses exist, because you have generations of people that don't want to own their part and why they ended up in the situation they're in. So they begin to teach generation after generation that it's okay. You got these guys out here that are bums, but they don't want to own up to the fact that they're bums. And they're out here making these children they can't support. And then they're telling these children that it's the mother's fault, and vice versa. So you have generation after generation of men doing this because this is what we pass down. We pass down generation after generation of people not taking responsibility for their own actions. So if you want to know why the community looks the way it looks, this is why. This is exactly why. Let me see what you guys are talking about down here in the chat. Arab Black TV says you're also describing family, and we know there are deeper issues and things that happen within family that isn't discussed or made known. Family dynamics are personal and can't be handled in house amongst family. I hope I was reading that right. And Arab Black also says it's women that love those so-called bums. You got bum bitches. True, and I'm sorry, I'm not really supposed to be cursing on this channel, but that statement is very true. And here's the thing: it'll be these bums, whether they be male or female, that'll be complaining the loudest about somebody holding them back. They're never gonna turn that mirror around and say, "These are the things that I did to contribute to my personal situation. These are decisions that I made, and this is what I could have done better." They're never gonna do this. These are the people that are perpetual and habitual. How can I say? They're just in denial. They're habitually in denial. Now, when you have somebody that's going to be honest with them about their situation, you become public enemy number one. Now, I was talking to the lady in the last scenario that I described to you guys, the one that had the babies by the bomb, and her mother helping her justify her bad decisions. And I said to that mother, I said, no. I said, you don't do that. You don't sit here and tell her that it's because of the birth control not working, that she had all these kids by this guy. You don't do that. You have to put the onus on her and decisions that she made. And do you know, when I was in the middle of talking to this woman, this is what she did. This woman is in her late 60s. I want to illustrate that to you. This lady put her fingers in her ear and began to go la 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 la. Yeah, she did that. 67 years old. Like, I don't want to hear you telling me that we got to be accountable over here. La 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 la. And when I saw an elderly woman doing this, I knew that we were doomed. Doug says the mother knows she is partially responsible, so she doesn't want to be accountable either. Exactly. Exactly. So, when people are sitting up here in this day and age in 2020 talking about being held back, nobody's holding you back. You're holding you back. I got I got people that show up to the little center that I do volunteer work at, and these are people that are always there, begging, for assistance. So my job is to, be the liaison and point them into the direction of the assistance that's available to them. And in talking with these people and getting to know some of them, it's just amazing to me the level of not wanting to take any type of accountability for self out here. And the people are getting younger and younger. And then it's mighty strange that some of the people from the older generation enable their mindset. So you got the younger people who are entitled, and you got the older people that make excuses for them. And this is why our community looks the way it looks. If you got the old refusing to be counsel for the young and give them good advice instead of helping them make excuses, and if you got the young not wanting to take any type of accountability, that's a recipe for a disaster for the entire community. So you have these people in the community doing this over and over again. It's like a bad record. It's like a bad broken record. The same song with that same broken hook in the lyrics, and nobody wants to fix it. Aaron Black TV says, I wouldn't even entertain listening to people talking about something holding them back. We all free. You mean your mind is shackled or the devil got your soul? Talk about it. Exactly. Where's Gia Girl? Gia Girl says, wow, I missed a lot, but I didn't see the notification this morning. That's okay, Gia Girl. We're talking about who's really holding us back as a group. And I use different scenarios to talk about everyday people that you see in the community, because these are people that we all know, that we all see, or you know somebody like that. What's up, uppity unicorn? We all know people like this. Now, me, I get a lot of flack in my family. I get a lot of flack amongst people that I know, because when people come to me and they ask me my advice, now I don't give unsolicited advice, never. But if they ask me, I'm going to tell them the truth. And I always tell people, if you don't want to hear the truth as far as how I interpret it, I said, if you're not ready for that truth, don't ask me, because I'm going to tell you. So a lot of times, I'm the fall guy, because I'll sit up here and I'll be very, very forthright. And I try to say the truth in a way that people can make it palatable to them. But sometimes the truth, you can't make it palatable enough. People are still going to be angry. No problem, Gia girl. She said, thank you, Faith, for letting me know what the topic is about. Doug says, at Arab Black, you do not know any man that's not accountable for their actions or even hear the different scenarios Faith presented. Hold on a second. Arab Black, you said you don't know anybody in that situation? Because like I said, I come from a poor background, so I know a lot of poor people. Now, I'm not surrounded by those people anymore, but I'm not going to sit here and say I don't know them. And then even in the area that I live in, there are people that I know in the area that I live in that know poor people. Poor people are going to be with us forever. There's no shame in saying that you come from a poor background, or that you know people from a poor background. And that's the other thing that we got to get out of. Quit pretending that you don't know these people, because they're all around us. Arab Black says, we as a group hold each other back because we only go forward as assisted as a group. If not, then we all individuals trying to make it alone. I don't do alone. I always work with someone to accomplish goals. Exactly. There's strength in numbers, but you got to make sure that whoever you're working with, the group that you're working with, is willing and they're strong. The last thing I want to do is drag anybody kicking and screaming into a better situation. Everybody has to want to have all hands on deck. One person can't, carry the entire group. That's the reason why it's called a team. But yeah, in all of those situations, we have a lot of our people, crying. And those are situations. The reason why I brought those up is because those are the situations that are most prominent in our community. You see those situations all the time. But now we have President Trump. I want to move over into this platinum plan, because I spoke earlier that I was going to kind of touch on it. So you have Trump offering blacks, the black community, the platinum plan. And then you have Biden, and what is he offering us? Absolutely nothing. He hasn't said anything that he would do specifically for the black community at all. So now, I have to ignore Biden because he doesn't have anything that he's offering to my group specifically. I gotta ignore him. But now Trump is talking. So remember, I think a couple of streams I told you that I was on the fence about who I was going to vote for. But now I'm looking at this platinum plan that Trump has, and he's specifically saying for black people. He's not saying that this is for everybody. He is specifically naming us. This is the first time any president in history has specifically said, I'm doing something for black people. I just want to point that out. So now he has this platinum plan, and he's saying that he wants to back and back. All right, so basically, I was talking about the Trump Platinum Plan. So basically, he wants to invest half a trillion, $500 billion into poor black communities. And what he is proposing is that he's going to, yeah, I'm good, Gia girl. I'm driving into the mountains, so my signal goes in and out. Hold on a second. I don't know why my Google keeps popping up on this phone. Can you guys hear me? All right, here we go. Up it says 500 billion in government contracts annually is a plan of debt how. This daggone Google keep popping up here. All right, I'm sorry, guys. This is I don't know what's going on with my cell phone today. Okay, Uppity says the platinum plan is a joke. I don't know, but like I said, Biden. So I'm looking at this plan. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me at all? How about now? Can you guys hear me now? Okay, good, good. Thank you. No, what I was saying is now you guys, you all complain about this platinum plan and you say that it's nothing. Well, that was Uppity Unicorn that says that it's a joke. But here's the real joke. The Democrats are not offering you anything. Now, if somebody said, "Okay, I want you to vote for me, but I'm not going to offer you nothing." But then this other guy says, "I want you to vote for me and I'm going to give you $500 billion." Which one are you going to vote for? The person that's going to give you nothing or the person that's going to give you 500 billion? And that's how I look at this scenario. Whereas before, no other president by name said, "I'm doing anything for black people." But this one president is saying that he's going to do something for us. Now, he's already done quite a bit with the First Step Act and school choice and opportunity zones. That was just a drop in the bucket. And now, with this current platinum plan, for what we know about it thus far, and I haven't read it all the way through, but it looks like he's proposing 3 million new jobs just for black urban areas. He's proposing 500,000 new black businesses. He's proposing um, opening up grants for school programs. So there's quite a bit in this platinum plan that we need as a community. I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm not saying that is something that's going to solve all our problems. But when I look across the aisle at the other side and I'm looking at what the liberals are offering us, they're not giving us nothing. So again, I ask, if I have to vote for anybody and I got one guy on one side saying, "I'm not going to give you nothing," and I got another guy on the other side saying, "I got 500 billion for you," I'm going to go with the guy with the 500 billion. What the hell? I got all these apps. My phone is acting like it's possessed today. Okay, Say Seer says, Faith, you are in laugh because of all of this. Okay, she's saying Joe Biden has a plan called Lift Every Voice and Sing for Black America. Both of these plans are bogus. Okay, now how come Biden? Okay, I'm gonna have to shut this down. I can't. I can't with this thing. Okay, I'm gonna have to take Google Assistant out. Where are these apps at? Okay, Bixby Voice. I'm gonna have to force stop. Okay, Google Assistants. Where you at? All right, can you guys hear me now? I had. Can you hear me? Good morning. Can you hear me? I hope that this is working now. All right, I think I might have got it fixed. All right, guys. So no, what I was saying was Biden. I have not heard of Biden's plan at all. It has not. I have not read through it at all. But here's the thing: what is Biden's plan? As a matter of fact, those of you that have a solution that you think Biden has a better plan, I need you to come up here on the panel and tell us about the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and all right, hold on a second. Let me see if I can get this link out here. I'm having a lot of technical problems today, but I hope by me closing that Google Assistant. There we go. All right, because this is what I know about the Platinum Plan. Now, he says that he Google Assistant is still coming up. Hold on a second. I think this Google Assistant is still coming up, inhibiting me. I don't know why. All right, hold on a second, guys. I'm going to fix this once and for all. I don't know why all of a sudden it just seems like my phone. I wonder if I got some kind of bug in here or something, if I've been hacked. It's just all of a sudden my apps are going crazy. Let me see. Apps. I shut down Bixby. Okay, Google. I'm uninstalling this. I'm just gonna uninstall all the Google apps because something is throwing something off. All right, so I'm back. Hopefully this will do it. If not, I don't know what to do. I might have to just go ahead and kill the stream. Okay, so let me go back here and see what they're talking about here. Okay, Make It Happen. Manny says the LIFT Act is for all Americans. Okay, see, I don't know anything about the LIFT Act. And Uppity was talking about something else. Let's see here. Where is it? In particular, Uppity, I want you to come up and talk to me about this other plan that you were talking about. I was trying to find your comment down here, but I dropped the link out there. And anyone who wants to come up and talk about the platinum plan and some of these other acts that's being proposed, because like I said, I don't know if Biden had anything specifically for black people, because I didn't see him talking about. I'm gonna have to end this stream because I don't know what's going on with my phone. My apps are like going crazy on this phone. I don't know if you guys. Uh, Hello? Can you guys hear me? I'm going to cut this stream because I have apps interfering with my StreamYard on my phone. I think my phone is like got some kind of virus on it because these apps are popping up and it's inhibiting me from talking on my StreamYard. So I do apologize, but I'm going to have to shut this down.